Good afternoon, evening, parents. So, whenever you may be viewing this, welcome. I'm Barbara Linzer. I'm the PSIA campus coordinator for our school for St. Martin's. And this is in lieu of trying to get everybody online at the same time. I decided to video the information um, that I needed to get out to everybody, and then you can always email me back um, if you need to with any additional questions. First of all, today students were given their uh, it says parent communication letter number 3. This goes over what contest your child is participating in, and it asks you to sign and return it by December the 13th. That's so I know and have all the names confirmed, because the 1st of January I will be having to input the student's name actually into the contest rosters. All right. I do ask that you pay attention to our code of conduct for PSIA. This is for all participants and families and parents. There is another little piece underneath here that I'd like for you to make sure you read. It talks about various things of the contest. This other one here is just a verification slip for me, the white one, that you have watched the video, that you understand the information that was presented. Um, anyway, it's just a little extra acknowledgement. Um, just to certify so I have record that you watched the video. I know it's not the ideal way, best way, but with us getting bigger and bigger, trying to get everybody together at one time for a meeting is kind of difficult. So anyway, this needs to come back by December 13th. Both pieces down here, 2 places to sign. All right. Let's see. In addition to reading code of conduct, your child was sent home with a study packet. In that study packet, you had the rules, the contest rules and guidelines on how it's scored, what goes on. Please make sure you understand and read those too. On there as well, it tells you what supplies the student needs to bring, whether it's paper and pencils. Some are pens. Some have to bring an atlas or a dictionary. It will tell you on that event contest criteria what they should have. We'll have a few supplies, but we do not bring everything for everybody to have. So we have to rely on y'all to do a little bit of that. The next thing about the competition that we will need from parents, and this is most important, is we will be given and assigned certain volunteer positions to help out the day of the meet. This can be from a grader to somebody watching the students at our table to a hall monitor, which they just kind of stand in the halls. Usually it's about an hour to make sure people are quiet. Students aren't lost, which that usually doesn't happen. Um, but they help guide traffic and try to keep things quiet in the hall. But there's various positions, okay? The graders are probably the easiest to do in that, but we need all parents volunteering to do something and to help out. And like I said, it could be helping out at our table, monitoring the students. Maybe their parent has gone to volunteer to do a grading or judging or something along those lines. And we need people at the table to keep our students together and make sure we're following the proper code of conduct protocol that's expected of us. So when I get those positions, I will send out an email to all the parents with the positions and the times. I know that can get a little bit complicated sometimes because your child's in this competition. You want to be ready and be there when they get back, etc., etc. So let me tell you a little bit more about how that's going to go. But anyway, I'll send that out to you. You can sign up as needed, and if we don't have enough people to sign up, There's been some years where some of us teachers have had to sign up for 2 or 3 spots, and it makes our day a little bit uh, longer, and we're not available for questions at the table um, as students are coming and going. But we do what we need to do to make to fill our positions that are required of our school. If we do not fill the positions, person doesn't show up, we get deducted points from our school total for each event. The first place, second place, third place, fourth place, they get a certain number of points. And then we get deductions if we don't fill spots, um, if paperwork isn't filled out properly from the contest directors. There's a lot involved in this. So if we all do our part and make sure we understand what's expected, then we should all be good. Um, and sign up times, once you sign up, unless there's like maybe a week before, if you need to swap out or something, um, we can look to do that. But last year we had a lot of last minute people wanting to switch times, and because we hosted, that made it very complicated, and we just can't accommodate that. All right. Um, Now, if you find somebody that wants to switch with you that's already in the contest, that would be great. All right. Let's see. So we know we have the parent letter going out that needs to come back on the 13th. I'm looking at my timeline up here on the wall. Um, Registration for the actual meet that I have to put students' name is begin January the 1st. We will also, in the middle of January, be getting, um, I think it's around the 15th or 16th, we'll get our volunteer spots. And so you need to be looking about that. I'll give a little recap in the next email that I send home too. And we have a couple weeks to get those slots filled. Competition is February the 22nd. It is all day. You need to make sure the times. You will be given a time schedule again, a map. Let's see, I don't know if you'll need a map of the school or not, but I'll get back to that in a minute. It's very important to be there ahead of time. We all going to gather in their big gym or auditorium area. I'm sure we will have table areas set up for our school, and that's where we gather. They will call the categories of the events for those students to line up, and they have a volunteer that will walk them to the classroom where the competition is going to be held. Parents will not be allowed in and out and up the halls. Now, there is a couple contests that do allow audiences, the speaking contest, and you will be given instructions, and I'll have instructions on that later as to what's expected and where to go. And speaking on that, let me just go back to that. Storytelling, which is first, second, and third grade. Storytelling. Parents, please listen up. You may talk to your child about this, and they may get a little nervous about what's going to happen. So when they call for storytelling, everybody in storytelling, they'll probably call them up in groups. Don't have the specifics on that, but they take them all into one room. They read the story that they they have to retell. So they listen to a story that's presented to them. And then from there, they take the students to the classroom where they will retell the story in front of judges. Now, the parents can go in to be audiences in those, but you're not allowed to talk to your child or any other children, so they don't forget in between all of that, and you don't want to distract them, but you might want to talk to them about this process. This is how it's going to go. People will be there to guide them and take them there. So it's secure. Please don't be concerned about that at all. But I know you may have BB, and you may talk to your children about that too. All right. And if questions, please email Mrs. Lisa Story. Okay, she's handling the storytelling students and practices and all of that. The other thing, real quick, is if you are interested in working with any of these students, I sent home the list of all the contestants. You can help coach a group of students. Um, and if you are interested in doing that, please email me so I can get you the materials and kind of give you a little more information. But I am reaching out to teachers this week to see about what support I can count on. Several of them do help the students and guide them and talk to them for the next few weeks till the competition. Make sure they understand the rules, the grading, especially the grading, if they should skip, not skip, answer, what materials they need to bring, and so on. So that's what kind of a coach is. They're a mentor. And some practice more than others, and hopefully we might even have some teachers practicing with students during the day. We've had that occur as well. So right now, until I get some more feedback from some of the teachers on who to coach, Mrs. Gomex will be doing the drawing, on-site drawing. And there's a few others, and I'll get that list together and let you know the status here before Christmas. Which leads me to the next thing. I've had some email requests about study packets. If you want additional study materials, I have some additional old tests to study from. That's basically what students study. There's a few categories. There might be a little extra information. You can go to the PSIA website and look for additional information. You can order materials yourself. It does cost. I do have some free old tests. And sometimes the UIL has some materials, but they're not exactly like the PSIA. PSIA makes their own test up. So they do not use the UIL material, but they do have some resources. All right, so the location of it was going to be, the contest is going to be Prince of Peace Christian School. It's in Carrollton, which it's right off of Midway near George Bush and the Tollway area. And it's going to be there on the 22nd. I will be there. Mrs. Story will be there. There may be another couple school teachers from our school there as representatives. You will look for our table for check-in, and any other information I get from Prince of Peace, I will send that your way before the competition. There will probably be lots of emails coming back confirming, reconfirming. Please bear with me. We've had a lot of students participate this year, a lot of runoffs that happen, and especially in first, second, and third grade, which is great to see the enthusiasm. But that also took a lot of preparation and work on this and to get those completed. I'm trying to see if there's anything else off of here. So once the competition's over with, that's our district meet. And the 22nd, students that placed in most of the contest in first and second places get to move on to the state meet. Some contests, it's just the first place winners that move on to state. So once we have the list of the winners, we'll know who qualified to go to state. You do not have to go to state. That is completely option for you and your child. It will be at, where is it at? Texas State University. I started to say East Texas, and that wasn't right. Texas State University in San Marcos. They moved it there last year. Mrs. Story and some of the others that went said it's really nice. It really worked out well. You are on both meets. You are responsible for getting your child to there and back, and being with them and helping out during the days, and not just come and leave them unless there's some emergency that needs to be taken care of. Or please make arrangements and let somebody know, any of the representatives here, um, so we can make sure they're attended to. Um, so then at there I go again, at Texas State University, they qualify to go. Again, it'll be the same thing. We'll have volunteer positions to fill. Meets run pretty much like it is at the district, except for it's a little spread out on a college campus. Um, and that information we have to get to you just like we do this one. We have to let you know what volunteer spots we have, who's going. At that point, we'll be asking you to confirm whether or not you're going to attend, so we know how many can go. And if, like, your child decides not to go, that's fine. They go to the next person on the list as alternate and offers them to participate or not. So let's say we have a student, that made first place in mathematics, whatever grade level, and we send the letter home. We have like a very short time window to confirm that, so that they can notify the next person down the list. So let's say we have a first place winner going, and then the second place winner is notified. So if our first place winner decides not to go, I send an email saying they declined, and then they'll go down to the third place winner for that contest and offer them that spot. They'll keep going, until to make sure that they have enough contestants to participate, which is usually not ever a problem. Contest rules and procedures are the same at state as they are at the district. So they're pretty much parallel. Once you've done the one, you kind of know a little bit what to expect at the other, except for the location's different and a few different little things about setup and logistics of the area. If you want those extra study packets for your child, you can put a notation at the bottom of this form, and that will let me know that you need some additional study materials. We'll get them out to you within the week, maybe next week, first part of next week. I'll just have to see what we can do and how many requests we have for it. So if you don't send this in till next week or next Friday the 13th, then it's probably going to be the week before Christmas, before I can get those copies made to you. It could even be when we get back. So if you want them to have something to do over the Christmas holidays, keep them busy, what have you, or just to work on a little bit each night with them, that would be great. There's also some helpful videos online about some of those contests, but if you go to that PSIA academic website, they do have some additional information for parents that you can access. I think that's about it. I spoke a little bit longer than I anticipated. Sorry about that. And we'll sign off for now. Please email me if you have any questions, and we look forward to having a very successful meet. Thank you.